Shantell, thanks for your time.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for, coming and asking about whatever we're doing here. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's just a conversation. I think, again, trying to humanize some people because there's a lot of dehumanization going on.
Too much.
But I just kind of started your origin story. Tell me about yourself. Where were you born and raised?
I was born and raised in Idaho Falls, Idaho. A little town. You blink, you miss it kind of thing. My mom she worked a couple jobs to raise us, in Idaho. She was a bartender because drinking's big out there. And drugs aren't big out there, but drinking is if you don't drink, you're weird. So, and then I kind of just grew up kind of sick of Idaho because, same things, different day type of thing. And didn't want to watch my mom throw her life away anymore, so I came here to Washington.
When you say we, do you have siblings?
I have my little brother.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I raised him. I got him through high school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I also have 2 kids.
Well, tell me about, you said you raised your brother.
Yeah.
More or less. How come?
My mom was an alcoholic, and she loved to party. She loved it. And, me and my brother didn't really want to be around all that. So I would stay home with him while she'd go out for weeks.
Oh,
weeks
wow.
at a time and be gone. And it would just be me and my little brother. I'd have to go to the store and steal food. But it didn't really matter to me. I was on probation by the time I was 12. But it didn't matter to me as long as my little brother was taken care of, you know what I mean?
For stealing food. Wow.
That was my first charge. That, and then I got assault and battery against my teacher because he just was a little too touchy. I was like, no. And I broke his nose. Oops. But, I'm not a violent person. I gotta get pushed to that point. It takes a lot, too, to push me to that point. But, yeah, that's my little story. I'm from Idaho.
And I was going to ask what was home life like, but you're explaining that. And,
yeah.
And your dad?
My dad, he was not really around. He came around when I was about 8 years old because they wanted to get child support for him. And then he tried to fight for me in court, but he was doing it for all the wrong reasons. And my mom ended up getting custody of me, thank God. Because my dad just was a church person. He wasn't a good person. He was just kind of like a shitty person. I don't really know what other than to say other than he's just a shitty person. Still to this day, I still don't talk to my dad. My stepdad, Jeremy, on the other hand, no, he was my dad. When he was around, because my mom and him would break up a lot. He was around. He was my dad, pretty much.
Yeah.
He raised me. He adopted me, actually, legally. Because my real dad, I was like, I don't want you even in my life, bro. And my dad wouldn't sign the paper for the longest time until I turned, I think it was 11. And then I went and talked to him. I was like, Dad, look, you're always going to be my dad, sadly. I didn't say that part, but I'm like, but I don't want you to be my dad. And I don't want you to be offended by that. But you're just not in my life, and when you are, it's never good. I want Jeremy to be my dad because he's there on a daily basis. He makes sure I get to school. He makes sure we eat, And he signed it for me finally, so that was my 11th birthday.
I mean, just, again, I have 8 and 10-year-old girls, and I couldn't imagine 10, 11-year-old girls having to have that conversation.
It was
and
hard.
Just to have that awareness and just be like setting a boundary. Right?
Oh yeah, I had to grow up at a really young age. I was at 3 years old. I was already changing my brother's diapers and taking care of him. Because my mom, she'd be so. My mom. I remember one day, my mom was so drunk. She ran to the middle of the road, yelled at a couple cars, and then fucking almost died. She just dropped. Boom, right there. I was like, what the.
And you were in the car?
No, we were in the house.
Oh, gotcha.
And she ran out of the house and was yelling at my stepdad about something. It was really weird. I was like, Mom, why did you just pass out in the middle of the road? I'm just going to take a nap right here. We don't do that.
Yeah.
And then my grandma ended up taking us after that. Because my mom was not a very good mom. My grandma, when we got to my grandma, we were doing really good after that.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Yeah. My grandma took over.
How old were you?
I was about 12 when my grandma
you went to your
took
grandma's. Gotcha.
us, and then we went back to my mom 5 years later. But when I was at my grandma's, I was doing phenomenal. Schoolwork, I was doing such good. I had friends. It sucked to have to. So it was. It sucked to have to go back to all the chaos and bullshit.
Well, why did you have to go back?
My mom's trying to take my grandma to court. And my grandma said she's just not gonna do that to us.
Yeah.
And we thank her down the long. We thank her long down the line, which I do. But my grandma and I don't speak anymore. Had to do with me losing my daughter to her dad. And then I started doing, drugs. It was really bad after that. I was 19 years old when I started doing drugs and I lost my kids. I was 16 when I had my first, 19 when I had my second. It was kind of hard. I'm not gonna lie, it was really hard. Really hard. Taking care of both my kids, working a job. But I did it for a long time until my ex-husband Timothy wanted to be with me. I didn't want to be with him at first. And then I asked for a divorce, and he told them to look at my mental health records and shiz and, all that. And I didn't have the best one because of what I'd been through as a kid. I'm traumatized. I have complex PTSD. I just got out of a 3-year relationship where he beat the crap out of me for 3 years. He's in jail right now. My ears, he cauliflowered my ears. He messed me up pretty good. Sorry, I need a drink of water there. Ooh.
It's okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's some, like you said, major trauma, and not just one, but multiple.
My whole life's just been like a traumatic experience, and I'm just like holding on, like, hey guys, can you help me a little bit over here?
Mean, that makes perfect sense that you cope, or people cope with their trauma with substances or legal.
Although I never got into the opiate scene. I couldn't do that. It's just, I cannot be like standing there reading the fine print on my shoelaces. It's just not my thing.
Yeah.
I do speed and weed, and I barely do speed anymore. And thank God I'm getting off of it, so I'm so freaking tired. I mean, I passed out all day.
Yeah.
And but that marijuana though is my best friend. I will never give that up.
It helps you.
Ever. Helps me level. Helps me not do anything stupid.
Yeah.
Keeps me lazy, kind of. So keeps me inside. I'm trying to get housing right now. They're going to be doing a sweet person for us.
Oh, this, I saw that and I was wondering where it was. This is considered Fremont, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's going to be Thursday.
I can't believe this is Fremont. That's crazy.
Or Freelard. Well, let's see. So you tell me about losing your kids at 19. You lost your kids.
Yeah, I lost.
How many boys or girls? Or
I have a daughter and a son. My son's name is Christopher. My daughter's name is Amara. The goddess of chaos. And it was it took a long time to get the court done, and it was really complicated and hard to lose my kids. I fought for a year and a half. We went to court and back and forth.
And who was trying to take custody?
My daughter's father.
Okay.
All because I didn't want to be with him. That's messed up.
And he was the one who abused you.
Yeah, no. The one that abused me was here in Washington.
Okay,
the guy I met in Washington. His name's Terrell Doyle.
We'll get to that in a little bit. But so you fought and lost, unfortunately. Lost custody.
Yeah, it was really hard losing my kids. It really woke me up. Bear, get in the tent. I'm so sorry. That's my child right there, too. I got 3 kids. Sorry, my little fur baby.
Yeah, we're talking about a dog here for people who can't see.
I just didn't want to be with him. He was really mean and just always so negative about the world. And I couldn't do it. It was too much for me. I was like, oh, negativity all day, every day. I'm not feeling that. So I filed for divorce and he filed for custody.
And won.
Yeah. I was like, wow.
Well, how long ago was that?
5 years.
And so your kids are how old now?
My son is, come here, man. So there's 2 dogs there. My son is 8.
Okay.
My daughter's almost 5. Come here.
And are you in contact with them? Do you get to talk to them?
Not my daughter, no. She's in California somewhere. My son, yes, I talk to him all the time. He's doing so well. He takes karate classes. He does football. I'm not happy about the football thing, but if he likes it, he likes it. Fine.
Right.
I said, first head traumatization? No, he's out. They're like, all right, fine, I promise. I'm like, good, because I'm not having my kid be brain dead.
So when you lost your kids, was this in Idaho? Okay, so when did you make this decision to come, or what happened? You know, you're 19, 20.
I met this guy named Rowan.
Okay.
In Shantell, Idaho, about 45 minutes away from Idaho Falls. And I was just barely starting to do clear at the time, or methamphetamine, and he kind of helped me get it to take off. You know what I mean? Well, he had ended up doing some stupid thing and getting us involved in something we should not have been involved in, and we had to skip town.
Gotcha.
So we ended up going from Idaho to Oregon, Idaho to California, Whitethorn, California, middle of nowhere, to Oregon to here. He left me in Oregon. He went back to East St. Louis because he ended up doing the same thing he did in Idaho. Idiot. And I had to leave, so I came here with my friend Mookie and my friend Chewy.
Gotcha.
Names. The names of people out here are just ridiculous.
Mookie and Chewy. And how long ago was this?
4.5 years ago.
Okay, and so this is when you met
Terrell,
the
when I
fella.
got here. At first, everything was great, fine, golden, we were good.
And were you housed at this time?
No,
Living in a car?
I was living in a tent.
Okay.
And
was that the first time you started living in a tent? Was when you came to Seattle?
yeah. No, in Oregon, yeah, that is, yeah. Oregon, I was housed for a while. Oregon, I was housed for a while, and then when I came here, I actually was on the news. My encampment, someone said we had stolen some things from them and came to retrieve them, and then I was trying to get my speaker back from them because I had just bought it. I had the receipt, everything. And then everyone started attacking them because they were trying to beat us up. So my whole camp attacked their car. Yeah, and that was bad. So I ended up from there. I ended up going to Green Lake with my ex, Terrell. He went by Vaughn. And first, he was really nice to me. We were good for about 2 months, and then he started hitting me. And at first, I was like, why the fuck are you staying, you dumbass? I'm talking to myself like this, and then he would apologize, and things would be okay again. No, they wouldn't be, but I thought they would be. And then it happened for 3.5 years until he tried to kill me. He broke my wrist, this one right here, and he broke my foot, this one right here, and he hit me in the head with a 2x4. Split my head open. Stop. Sit.
And this is all in an encampment or
Yep.
in a tent? Wow.
Yep. Down there in Inner Bay, Simply Storage?
Mm-hmm.
Behind there. It was behind there before we all got swept out of there.
Right. And,
Yeah, I almost died right there.
Man, well, I guess number one, I'm sorry
It's okay.
that happened.
I'm alive. I'm well. I'm glad. I'm a little slower, but because when he hit me in the head, if you can't tell, I have an indent, and I had a lot of blood loss, and I walk a little funny now, but it's okay. I'm alive. Thank God I'm alive. That's the only thing I thank God for, is I'm alive right now. Those drugs would chew you in half. Stop.
And so after that, you got out of the relationship?
Yep, I left, and it's been about 9 months.
Okay, wow, so this happened within a year.
Mm-hmm.
And he enough to give you cauliflower ear on
Oh
both
yeah,
ears.
he did that. Yeah, took him a long time to do that.
Yeah,
The only reason he did it is because I loved my ears so much.
but that happened, in order to get that, because wrestlers
Oh, yeah,
have that
he
over and
was
over
just
and over again.
hitting me repetitively on a daily basis. My friends didn't recognize me when I had gotten out of there and all my bruises healed up and everything. No one recognized me.
Yeah.
They're like, who the hell is that? Oh my God, it's Jasmine. I was like, oh, thanks, guys.
Wow.
But
Well, I'm glad you got out.
me too.
And
Alive, even.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, alive.
I know a lot of girls that aren't that lucky.
Yeah, that's true.
Sadly.
Yeah, that's
And rest
true.
in peace to all the girls that didn't, that don't make it through with the domestic violence, because I am a domestic violence survivor. Thank God every day
That's right.
that I made it through that situation.
Yeah.
And then instead of going and being stupid and getting another boyfriend immediately, I got a dog, kept him for a few months, and my boyfriend is just right over there now. I have a new boyfriend.
Yeah.
His name is Brent. He's really cool. I like him. I mean, I tolerate him. He's not always around, but
I think getting a pet is a great idea, very therapeutic. And
I love this dog more than life.
I'm sure helps with the complex trauma and all the traumas, right?
Yeah, this one right here, he chose me. He chose me for sure. I love you.
Well, let's see. Let's talk about your current situation. Tell me about it.
That's my tent right there. I'm waiting for the sweep so I can get some housing. And once I get into the tiny houses, I'm not going to get kicked out. I'm going to keep my foot in that door. I'm going to get into an apartment.
Yeah. Have you been in a shelter or tiny home or tried those things?
A couple times.
Tell me about those.
Trial and error, you feel me?
In which, a shelter or?
Tiny houses.
Okay.
When me and my ex broke up for the first time, because we broke up for a little while, for about 3 months, I was staying in the tiny villages in Inner Bay. When Chris was still managing them, he's a douchebag. Oh my gosh. I still can't believe he still even has a job there. It's unbelievable how, like, he dehumanizes people hella bad. That whole plate, oh gosh, yeah. They're not good people. The people that have the tiny houses, the people that work for the tiny villages are not good people. And I really want to expose them, but I'm not going to. But they have a lot of really messed up crap going on in that place. They don't care about us. They don't care about us. They're so mean to us. It's horrible. That's why I couldn't do it. When something happened to me and I was almost raped in the tiny village, Chris didn't do anything about it. So I left. I exited myself.
Again, setting another boundary, saying,
Yep.
I'm
not doing that.
Remove
Sorry.
myself from this situation. Yep. Right.
And they didn't kick out the dude that did it. They just let him stay. Would you stop? They just kind of were like, nope, sorry, sucks. I was like, okay, whatever. So, and then I've been out here ever since again.
Gotcha.
And now I'm trying to get another tiny house.
Right.
Come here, bear.
Shantell, is there anything that you'd want to say to the people of Seattle?
Just hear us out, you know, to everybody. Like, the people that like to dehumanize us, we're people too. We have lives too. You know, we're going through it. This is obviously not a life choice for us. I am not choosing to live like this, but, you know, and it doesn't help when people sit there and, you know, look at me like, oh my God, she's homeless. Ew, get out of here. Like, just give us a chance. We're good people. Some of us are good people, and we mean well, so that's all I would have to say to everybody. Just give people a chance. Don't judge a book by its cover, because that's a lot of people do these days, and God frowns upon that, I feel like. And for someone who doesn't really believe in God, I believe in a higher power. I say that God frowns upon that, and that's not the right thing to do. Like, we're all human here. We all bleed the same color, I hope.
Yeah, I think we do. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
If you don't, look at your alien. But we all just need to be nicer, man. Try helping out instead of judging for once, you know? What can I do to help? Maybe we'd even blow your minds. You never know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of interesting people out here on these streets, and people that shouldn't even be out here because they know. Yeah. That's what I would say to the people in Seattle. Give us a chance.
Yeah, appreciate it.
No problem.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. It's good to hear your voice.
Thank you.
Good to meet
Sorry
you.
about this right here.
Don't be sorry. You know, what's your dog's name?
Bear.
Bear is part of your story and
He is.
part of your family. And
He's like my only family right now.
all right, let me grab that little mic and
Yep.
take a couple photos.